Hi there. In today's video we want to talk about price computing scales, or some people call them produce scales, or farmers market scales, or legal for trade scales, and there's probably a handful of other things that they call them. Basically these are scales that you put your strawberries on, or your whatever fruit or produce or chocolate or whatever it is you're selling by the pound, and you put it on the scale, enter the price per pound, and then the scale gives you the total, and it displays it on the front, and then it displays it on the back so the customer can see it. That's basically what we're talking about. I've got three popular choices in front of me: CAS S2000 Junior, we've got the Rice Lake RS130, and then the Brecknell PC3060. Now, there's certain things that all these scales basically have in common. They're all NTEP Legal for Trade. They've all got a COC number. They're NTEP Class 3 Legal for Trade. They all have a display on the front and then a display on the back so the customer can see it. They've all got a rechargeable battery inside, so you can take them to the market or wherever you need to take them, or you can plug them into your regular power outlet and use them at your store if you want to. Where it starts becoming more challenging is when you have certain things that you're looking for. I want a scale that will weigh in ounces. Well, if that's the case, then that takes this out of the equation, and this will do price per ounce, and this will do price per ounce. This one won't. Or maybe you want to get a scale that I can have a tower display. I want to put a tower on it. Well, if that's the case, then I have to choose this one or this one. Maybe I want a scale that's got dual range capabilities, so it's almost like getting two scales for the price of one. Well, that takes this one out of the equation, because I can do this one, or this one has dual range. And dual range is basically, I'm starting at 0 and I go up to 30 pounds in 0.01 pound increments. Then once I get to 30, I go from 30 to 60 pounds in 0.02 pound increments. So it's kind of like having two scales, for the price of the one that you're buying. This scale doesn't do that. This scale will go from 0 to 30 by 0.01 pounds. That's it. If you want to get a 60 pound version, you have to buy a different scale, and it'll go from 0 to 60 by 0.02 pounds. There is no dual range on this particular brand. Maybe I want to buy a price computing scale that I can connect a label printer to it and print out a basic label that says thank you and the price. Well, if that's the case, I'm not going to choose either of these. I'm going to probably choose this CAS S2000 Junior. Maybe I want a scale that's got, I'm not going to weigh very heavy items. I'm only going to weigh, maybe frozen yogurt by the ounce or something like that. Well, I don't need a 60 pound scale for that. So maybe I can get this S2000 Junior in a 15 pound capacity. So those are all the kind of scenarios that you have to think about, and you can look on our website and figure that out. Read different web pages and read the brochures and all that. But we just wanted to do this video to talk about it and kind of discuss the differences in the scales, because when you look at them, they all seem about the same. Maybe I want a scale that's got a very small footprint. I don't want a big scale that takes up half my table at the market. I want one that's got, just fairly small, that I can put on my table and still have plenty of room for my produce. Well, if that's the case, then maybe I'm going to buy this Brecknell PC3060. So, because it's the smallest, I don't know if you can tell in the video, but this is the smallest footprint of these three scales. So, those are the kind of things that you have to figure out when you're trying to make your purchase. Maybe you want a carrying case. We've got a carrying case available for some of these. If you're placing it on a store countertop, you probably don't need a carrying case. But if you're taking the scale to the market every week, or maybe you're storing the scale for 6 weeks during the off season or whatever, that cardboard box the scale comes in eventually is going to wear out or deteriorate, and it might be nice to have a hard shell durable carrying case. The one thing I wanted to also mention was the RS130 would be a good choice if you're looking to calculate customer change, because it has a button on here where you do an item put an item on the scale, enter your price per pound, the customer gives you the money to pay for it, and then you can enter what they gave you and it'll tell you how much change to give the customer. So that's something that's unique just to the RS130 that these two don't have. So again, each of these scales has their features and their benefits that you might need, and it's a matter of talking to your salesperson or reading the website, reading the information, and trying to make a smart decision on which one's best for you. They're all good scales, and it depends on what you're looking to do. The tower display, I mentioned that. If you're going to take a scale to the market every week, I don't think you'd want to have a tower display, because I think that would not work real well. Breaking it down every week and then putting it back up every week, and I think that's most people that take these to the market every week. They just buy the standard version, and the displays on the front, the displays on the back. There's really no need to have the tower. One thing that I guess we need to mention is if you buy the scale, you can't add the tower. You can't add the tower after the fact. And the other thing I wanted to mention was the dual range capability. This Brecknell has it, and then this CAS has it as well. And it's not just on the 60-pound model, it's each of their models. So you could get, if you're not weighing heavy items, you could get a 15-pound or a 30-pound capacity scale, and you could get the lower capacity dual range part of it. So for example, let's say you got a 30-pound capacity price computing scale. You could get the scale would display from 0 to 15 pounds in 0.005 pound increments, so 3 decimal places. Then once you got up to 15 pounds, it would, from 15 up to 30 pounds, it would go by 0.01 pounds. So that's the way that works. So not a bad feature to have. Most of the time, most of these price computing scales nowadays come with a rechargeable battery. Very few have D-cell batteries anymore, which is kind of the reverse of the way it used to be. All these scales have the memory functions where you can save your popular, maybe you've got 3 or 4 products that you sell on a regular basis. You can save the most popular ones in your memory keys here, and you can use those. I think that's all I've got. Carrying case I mentioned. It ultimately comes down to what features you're looking for, and call us up, email us, and we can help you figure out what you need, and we can help to point you in the right direction. And you can call us or you can email us, whatever you prefer, and we can get that handled for you. And then the other thing I wanted to say was on price computing scales, if you do a little bit of searching online, you might find some that are ridiculously priced. I don't know what the going rate is now for some of these that are non-NTEP, but I think they're like, I don't know, 50 or 60 bucks. And if you see one that's 50 or 60 bucks on popular auction type websites, there's a pretty good chance that scale's not legal for trade. And so in most places, if you buy that and then you try to use it, you're not going to be able to. The state's going to say that scale's not legal for trade. So I would recommend not doing that. In order to pass the NTEP approval that we talked about earlier, in order to pass NTEP approval, you really have to have a scale that's accurate and consistently accurate in order to pass and get that NTEP approval. So that's why these scales are the recommended choices, is because it's good for you as a seller and also good for your customer, and they can have faith that what they're buying is in fact what they see on the scale. I hope the video has helped you out. If you have questions, give us a call or an email. The website centralcarolinascale.com, and if you liked the video, subscribe to our channel or give us a thumbs up on YouTube. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.